Hey, good morning, everybody. It is a little bit cooler today than it has been the past few days here in New Jersey, so we'll see how that goes. I am planning on trying to be out as long as it doesn't rain, and as you can see, the way I'm sitting, for me it's still pretty warm. So, um, yeah, man, it's been brutal out there. If you're around, same messages before. Stay hydrated. They get bigger and bigger every time. Stay out of the sun, get some shade, and what have you. And yeah, man. All right, well, let's get into this video. The discussion right today for this video is going to be about the labor market slowdown. I mean, it's no new news, and I've discussed this in my old other videos as well, that the statistical data that we're getting is almost like, in a sense, gaslighting, I believe. They're gaslighting us with this data. And I actually have an article here that I read that sort of, I don't want to say proves it, but kind of advocates for that as well. Jerome Powell himself is involved in this as well. I'll just kind of briefly explain that in the video. So he came out and is saying, he's come out and said some things about his own data. So yeah, this data is, it's not really, doesn't seem to be correlating with what we're seeing out there. My LinkedIn, for example, is full of people on their profile picture, full of people green, open to work. I mean, I'm in that boat as well, but I'm looking to just semi-retire, so I don't even know if I want to right now. I want to kind of sit back and like look at how things are going and take my time, of course, right? I don't want to say sabbatical. Maybe in a sense, I do need a little bit of a sabbatical. It's exhausting, but yeah, the 4.2% report might be garbage, meaning the sense it might not actually be accurate at all, because deeper data is showing that there's cracks going on in the economy. There's slow job growth, rising unemployment rates, and a declining labor participation. So when it comes to Jerome Powell, even he's starting to question his own economic data. He's pressured by Trump, right, and the administration for a lot of things, especially rate cuts. But that's one issue that he has. The other issue is that he believes his own statistical data might be, I don't want to say corrupted, but it's not accurate. And a lot of that has to do with shortages in his own labor force out there with the Federal Reserve. So that's one thing. There's a weakening. The economy is weakening under the surface. So payroll growth has slowed down. In May, we had added 139 to, we'll say, 140,000 new jobs. But April figures were revised down significantly compared to that. So we had already kind of started to see a shift right there, April, May, with the economy slowing down. Immigration and an aging working population. So retreating immigration, the mass deportations that are happening are also seems like it's affecting the economy. And we have an aging working population, and we have an aging population that is higher, or going to be higher here soon than a young population. So in the sense of there's going to be more older people than younger people at some point here in the upcoming future. So that's something to watch out for as well, right? Nobody's having, like discussed in a couple of videos, nobody's having kids, and for good reasons too, right? Watch those videos, and you guys probably know what's going on out there, right? You don't have to explain that. There's been a small business slowdown. They have high costs. Tariffs are hitting them, right? They've sort of, small and big businesses as well, but especially small businesses have been making decisions now, and in hindsight or looking to the future and saying, all right, well, if this is coming, then we need to start preparing for it now. So there's been slowdowns in that regard, and there's also a skills shortage in the country, so in the sense of, there's a lot. Why do you think we've heavily relied upon H-1B? Yeah, I do believe that they want to pay people less for the work they want done. So H-1B workers will accept that over a native worker. Is that the right term? Over a American worker that's here, but or offshoring jobs has been a big factor as well. But there's a skills issue as well in this country. There's sector disparities. So we're seeing growth in healthcare, some growth in hospitality, big slowdown in manufacturing, construction, tech, and the government. Tech we already know, right? We're seeing what's been happening for the past 12 months with the tech slowdown, and AI implementation is affecting that. Manufacturing is an interesting one because this administration wants to bring manufacturing jobs back here, but things don't happen like that. So I don't know I feel like if they wanted to do this the right way, they could have created a plan like, hey, we're doing a 1 year plan helping these companies maybe bring some of those jobs back here. So, and the infrastructure that a lot of these companies would need to bring a lot of the manufacturing back here isn't really around. But that's for meaning it's not to the level it was before, right? It's deteriorated. So like look at places like Gary, Indiana, for example, just a nuclear zone looks like, right? Looks like a nuclear blast went off there. But for the manufacturing jobs that exist today that are still in the country, they're having there's a slowdown in those as well, right? So we might have slower output. I mean, we're not really a country that outputs much anyway, right? But that's going to be a big effect. And then also the Federal Reserve is delaying rate cuts still. I have mentioned this before that the Trump administration is trying to pressure Powell to cut rates, but inflation risks are still a concern. So, it's like we could be heading for some sort of a stagflationary period, right? We could be heading for some sort of a high stagflationary period here where the economy's slow, we have high unemployment going on at the same time, and prices are rising, right? So I think that's one of Jerome Powell's biggest concerns that he's discussed, and it's something to kind of keep an eye out for, because that would not be good for the economy either. There's a lot of things that are going on that could go downward, and again, if this data that they're sending out right now is not accurate, then what we've actually been seeing all along, us folks out there, like off of LinkedIn, off of people we're talking to, our own experiences, is showing that there's it's much darker than what they're putting out there when it comes to data. So I think that's one of the reasons why you haven't seen like major stock sell-offs yet. I think there was a little bit of a dip with the whole announcement of Iran, the bombing of their nuclear sites or what have you. But it's because of this data. But if it comes out that this is wrong, and we start to, well, that's what's happening, right? I mean, the dip is starting to show similar signs to what we saw in 2008, and that's kind of where we're heading towards. Now I don't know how, it depends on how far down the dip goes, but from 2008 it going down and then coming back up, obviously by 2010, 11, 2020 straight dip, right? Because of everything that, again, what I call like the pseudo recession, right? The forced recession because of shutdowns. And then 2020, end of 2020 to 2021, we started seeing it rise up again. And now it's like this again, right? It's coming back down. So, yeah, man, there's a lot of stuff to keep an eye out for. But the labor market is slowing down. If you are reading these articles, if you're looking at this data that's being sent out, take it with a grain of salt. It's even Jerome Powell himself is saying this might not be accurate data. So we'll see what develops. All right, guys.